Hey ladies, welcome to Chillin with Bestie Podcast with your girl Nia. Enjoying another Wednesday. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I thought summer was really over. When we got hit with them 70s last week, I was like, oh nah, I wasn't ready. But like summer was like, hold my beer, because when I tell you it was almost 90 degrees today here in the Ville, oh man, I felt every bit of it, and it felt so good. I was born in the winter, but I definitely love the summertime. Now for this week, we were supposed to continue on from last week's episode when we talked about finances. But I want to kind of talk about another topic because I feel like this is a little bit more important than finances. And to be honest, it's something that I'm working with myself. So I would like to talk about it because this is actually something that I am going through right now. And I really feel like that, given my experience, could possibly help somebody else. So I'm going to start off by talking about yesterday, what I went through yesterday that just caught me off guard out of nowhere. So I'm going to say it was probably about a little in the afternoons, reaching for the evening. So I'm going to say between 4 and 5 o'clock. My family and I had got home. Everything was cool. I was having a great day. No issues, no fuss. My wife was cooking and I was assisting her in the kitchen cooking. Usually what we do every now and again when I feel like cooking. But like I said, everything was great. And then all of a sudden, I just got instantly hot. I know somebody probably going to mess around and say I was going through menopause. If that's you, don't be petty. But I was really hot. Now, of course, the kitchen gets hot, but I never experienced this type of heat before, ever, cooking. I don't care usually how hot a kitchen get. I usually don't be this hot, but I was extremely hot to the point of sweating. I didn't have anything on real heavy because it was basically almost 90 degrees outside. So I went in my bedroom. I shut the door, took a pack of papers, fanning myself. When that didn't work, I got out of the clothes that I had on for the day, which was a pair of pants and a t-shirt. Nothing really heavy. I went on ahead and put on another shirt and a pair of shorts. Took my socks off because, that usually helps keep me warm. So to help myself cool down, I took my socks off. I laid in my bed, took the same pack of papers, fanning myself. I should have just went on ahead and cut on the fan. I don't know why. I just was fanning myself, but that was like the quickest thing that I could do at the time. Turn around. I'm still sweating. My breathing is getting a little out of whack. And then all of a sudden, my eyes are filled with tears. I have no idea why I'm experiencing this, but I know I've experienced this before in the past. Today was the actual first day that I could identify this as a panic attack. I had it after a car wreck that I had in 2007. I totaled my baby. Rest in peace, Honda Civic, 1997. You kept me afloat while I was in college. And I wrapped that thing around a pole. And when I tell you, it took me a minute to drive because I would always have these attacks, but I did not know at the time what they were. But today, like I said, I was able to identify it, but I don't know what triggered it. Now, somebody like me who's been through a lot of things in life, I haven't always taken the time to actually deal with those things mentally about as far as what I went through. But recently, in my last couple of years, I'm gonna be honest, I've decided to try to work on some things that I've actually been through in my life. I say all that to say this. Ladies, the everyday stress of what we gotta deal with, the many hats that we have to wear every day, on top of anything that you might have went through in life and you have no clarity on how to deal with it, why it happened, was I the person, and to blame, any of that, anything related to that can definitely cause panic attacks or anxiety or manifest into health conditions such as high blood pressure, obesity, anorexia, and many other different types of diseases that you can be diagnosed with because you're not dealing with your mental. We have to deal with our mental. So even though, yes, since yesterday, I have not really taken the time and figure out, okay, why did that happen? I gave myself a mental break, which is always okay. But if you break so long, then the same thing is doomed to repeat. If I don't figure out what triggered me and why I had a panic attack, then I'm just going to probably randomly keep having these panic attacks until I find out what the root of the issue is. And I don't want to keep really going through that, because having panic attacks are very scary, especially when you feel like you have no sense of control. So, for any of the ladies who are listening who have issues such as mine, like having panic attacks or freezing up or even blanking out, I've experienced that too, where I could be sitting in a public setting, or I can be with family and friends, and in the moment situation, I'll just zone out. Like I'm physically there, but I'm mentally not. That's another another sign that you could be possibly going through something mentally that you need to take care of. So just a few tips if you're going through a situation like that. Number one, breathe. When I tell you just taking deep breaths and calming yourself, trying to calm yourself down, that helps tremendously. Because if you're hyperventilating, which means breathing quickly, you're not getting enough oxygen. You're just doing enough to breathe air in and out through your nose and out your mouth. Take some deep breaths. Let that oxygen get to those lungs, your heart, and definitely your brain. So inhale deeply through your nose, breathe out your mouth slowly. Okay? The second thing, if you're uncomfortable, like you're feeling like you're restricted or you're feeling like you're overheating, take your layers off. Especially in the comfort of your own home, take all your clothes off. Like literally. Not trying to be, facetious or anything on here, but take off your clothes. Like for real. Like I was feeling restricted in my clothes, and I was feeling like I was overheated. So I just went on ahead and took all of my and changed my clothes. Yes, I went on ahead and took a little wash up in between. I'm just saying, making sure that you clean up if you're sweaty in between your changes. Don't want to be a little dirty. But in emergency situations, all honestly, if you're having a panic attack, you're not really worried about taking a shower or taking a quick bath. No, you want to hurry up and get out of those clothes, because it could make the situation worse. Okay? If you can, step out and get some fresh air. Open up a window. Step outside. Roll the windows down in your car. And last but not least, whatever you feel like you're going through, release it and let go. I want to give a shout out to my wife, because I want to say, if it wasn't for her telling me the steps such as these that I basically went through today, it probably would have went a little more south. Just because usually when I have panic attacks, I go from 0 to 100, and I don't even understand why. But like I said, I took a mental break, went on ahead and calmed myself down, got me some fresh air, changed my clothes, stepped away from my family real quick, just so I could get a few minutes of peace. Just a few minutes. Also, a good thing to do, ladies, if you're going through any issues, and it ain't necessarily you gotta have panic attacks, anxiety. It could be mental anguish. You might be angry at something that you just still harboring over. First of all, let that go. Let that go for real, because that alone can manifest into some ugly stuff. And diseases, mental disorders, all of that. So you don't want to hold on to that anyway. But get yourself a notebook, get a diary, get a journal, write this stuff down. And then when you get a chance, just go back and read over it, and then trying to figure out how you can get rid of or release whatever it is you're going through. Like, for example, your father left your mom, they had a big ugly divorce, and your father up and left, and he never came to see you again. Well, that could, definitely turn out to be abandonment issues later on that could affect you with your relationships, period. Whether you talk about relationships with another individual that you're trying to romantically be involved with, your relationship with your children, if you have any children in the future, definitely the relationship you have with your father, if you end up seeing him down the line again. That can be very devastating and traumatic to a kid. And if as an adult you don't deal with that, then certain habits, certain behaviors, and for real, certain diseases and disorders can become of it. I really think people don't really look into the depth of how far trauma can take you physically, mentally, emotionally, all of it. It all plays a part. Trust me when I tell you, if your mental not in order, it's going to show. If you're trying to figure out why you repeat certain patterns.
Or maybe you're also trying to figure out why you're so angry. These can all be a result of dealing with traumatic stress that you dealt with early in your life and you've never taken care of it.
So, like I said, ladies, we all have our everyday stress as well as past
childhood traumas that we have experienced from our
early 20s. Deal with it. Like, for real, deal with it. I don't care if it's holding a grudge over your child's father. Deal with it. You were raped or molested when you were young. Deal with it. Sometimes you gotta deal with the past and get it together for the future. Like, for real. Like, deal with it. If you gotta forgive somebody, forgive them. You don't necessarily have to talk to them, but forgive them. Any old hard feelings that you have, someone, let it go. If it ain't kill you, let it go. And keep it moving. Try to live as peaceful and stress-free as possible. Because when I tell you, when you ain't got to deal with that stress no more, honey, you will definitely be seeing clear. Because the rain will definitely be gone. Well, that's my time again, ladies. It was nice talking to you all, per the usual. Now, next week, since I did not get to talk about finances today, we will definitely be talking about finances. I'll be getting a little bit more in depth as far as investing, where to look for investing information, as well as
the reduction on unnecessary spending. So y'all come check me out again. Like I said before, every Wednesday, especially next Wednesday, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Time, aka 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Y'all have a great rest of y'all week, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye, ladies.